Now that you've mastered the basic functions of the Invigilators portal, let's look at some of the other functions available to record against a candidate or the exam room. Invigilator notes and broadcasts. The exams officer may need to provide the invigilators with important messages on the day of an exam. These messages will be displayed on the invigilator's schedule. Also, the exam officer may need to send a broadcast to all invigilators during an exam. This will appear as a blue notification. In this example, the exam officer is sending a broadcast to remind invigilators that the candidates must remain in the exam room until 2:30. How to identify a clash candidate. The clash flag is an important flag to understand. There are two types, a yellow and a red flag. The yellow flag will identify that a candidate has a clash that day. However, the current exam the candidate is sitting is taking place at the official start time set by the exam board. A candidate that has a red flag indicates that the candidate is sitting the exam at a different time to the official start time. The exam officer will make the invigilator aware of the arrangements for these candidates. Recording a supervised rest break. To record when a candidate needs to take a supervised rest break, navigate to the attendance register and select the action button. Once selected, scroll down to the option SRB out. When selected, the clock will stop for the candidate and the length taken recorded. Any candidates that are on an SRB will appear in a different color on the seating plan and the attendance register. Once the candidate is ready to restart the exam, navigate to the Overview tab and select the action button for the appropriate candidate and select SRB return. Recording that a candidate needs to take a toilet break. To record that a candidate requires a toilet break, navigate to the attendance register and select the action button for the candidate that requires the toilet, then select Toilet Out. Again, as the candidate is out of the room, the candidate will be in blue on the attendance register and seating plan. A toilet break will not add any time to the candidate's end time. Recording additional time against a candidate. To add additional time to the candidate's end time, then navigate to attendance register and select the action button for the relevant candidate and select additional time. Enter the amount of time to add and provide a reason for this. Depending on the school settings, this function may not be available to any invigilators. It may only be possible for the exams officer to record this. How to add a comment to a candidate, or for the exam room. If an incident has happened in the exam room or a note needs to be added for a candidate, then this can be recorded. To record a note against the room, navigate to the Overview tab and select Add Comment. If a comment needs to be added for a candidate, navigate to the attendance register, locate the candidate and select the Actions button, then Add Comment. The exam officer will make the invigilators aware of what types of notes should be recorded. How to record a malpractice or special consideration against a candidate. To add a malpractice or a special consideration for a candidate, navigate to the attendance register, locate the candidate, then select the Action button. Once selected, select either Add Malpractice or Add Special Consideration and enter a comment. Depending on the school settings, this function may only be available to the exam officer. How to move a candidate to another seat. If a candidate needs to move a seat within the exam room, navigate to the attendance register, locate the candidate, then select the Action button, followed by Move Seat. Once selected, select the seat that the candidate has moved to and provide a reason for this movement. Depending on the school settings, this feature may only be available to the lead invigilator within the room. How to stop an exam in an emergency. If there is a need to stop the exam in an exam room due to an emergency, this is possible by navigating to the Overview tab and selecting Emergency Stop the Exam and provide a reason for this. This will stop the clock for the exam and a pause icon will appear on the exam room screen. Once ready to restart the exam, select the Resume button. Global Stop. The exam officer can pause all exams remotely. This could be because the fire alarm is sounding, or the need to pause due to a lockdown situation. When either of these are triggered, a message will be sent. It will either say fire or lockdown and the exam will be automatically paused in all rooms. With the exam paused, the invigilator is still able to navigate to the attendance register and view the whole register. The invigilators will need to restart the exam locally by selecting the Resume button once instructed by the exams officer. This could be by a broadcast. How to end an exam for an individual candidate. If a candidate has finished the exam prior to the official end time, then it's possible to finish the exam for an individual candidate. To record this, navigate to the attendance register, locate the candidate, then select the action button, then Candidate Finish. This will record the actual end time for that candidate. How to record if the access arrangements was used. After the exam has finished, it is possible to record if the candidates have used their access arrangements during the exam. To record this for a candidate, navigate to the attendance register, locate the candidate, then select Action button and scroll down to the Access Arrangement section and select the appropriate option.